To start the playoffs, the Orioles had the lowest chance to win the World Series according to Fangraphs. The Orioles had the most wins in the AL by 2 games in 2023. Obviously, this team has overperformed this year. No one truly expected the Orioles to be a 100-win team. But a lot of stuff happened, right? Gunnar Henderson had a breakout year, and young catcher Adley Rutschman broke out this season. The Orioles have one of the youngest rosters in all of baseball and haven't been to the playoffs since 2016. They had a massive rebuild from 2017 to 2022, and it finally came to an end this season. The thing that makes the Orioles different than anyone else still in this playoff race is the lack of experience. They have a very young roster that has never, ever played in a playoff atmosphere. What we have to remember about the Orioles is that they don't spend a dime of money. Therefore, 99% of their talent is homegrown. Whereas, let's say a team like the Rangers, they haven't been to the playoffs since 2016 too, but they're doing really good, right? And why is that? That's because the Rangers players are not all homegrown. They have brought in players with money, guys who have been to the playoffs over and over again. And you know what? They're doing really good. So that's really what separates the Orioles from every other team right now. Heading into the postseason, I was extremely worried about the Orioles pitching, and I looked and said, hey, they're all young, therefore you'll likely see a few wrinkles that really kill you in the playoffs. Well, in one game against the Rangers, they pitched well, giving up only 3 runs. In Game 2, on the other hand, they gave up 11 runs, while the offense went ahead and put up 8. The Orioles have good arms, right? So they'll have games where they only allow 3 runs. But they're also really inconsistent, and they are young. And they lack a true ace, a guy who has been in their rotation, who has played in a playoff atmosphere, right? No postseason experience outside of Gibson, and that really hurts. Dean Kremer should not have to be at number 2 in the rotation. They lack a superstar with experience. They're 1 game away from being eliminated, which, by the time you're watching, I mean, they might already be eliminated. But whether they won or lost today, the Orioles need pitching. And I think I know exactly what the Orioles are planning on doing and should do. Even after calling up all the prospects that they have, they still have the best farm system in baseball. So we know that their development is really working. Plus, they have a top prospect in Jackson Holliday who is shooting up the system. He's going to be great for the Orioles whenever he gets the call, so the farm system is working. Why would we mess it up? Well, my plan for the Orioles isn't quite for them to go ahead and wreck it, but my plan is why not trade a few prospects for pitching? Not every prospect is going to pan out, and that is the reality of baseball. You have a glaring problem right now with starting pitching, and you have an owner that will not spend money. So what do you have to do? You have to make a trade or two. Now, if you watched my Red Sox video, you know what I think of the Brewers right now, right? I think that the Brewers will trade Corbin Burnes and Brandon Woodruff. And of course, each have contracts that are very close to expiring, and I think the Orioles should be all over that. They would be the perfect team to get one of these guys. To me, Brandon Woodruff probably makes the most sense on the Orioles. The Orioles have young talent in the minor leagues, and that's exactly what the Brewers are looking for right now. They want prospects. But I also don't think that one guy is quite enough to save the Orioles' problems. Therefore, they go ahead and get another infielder with this trade by adding in Willy Adames. Adames is a guy who I'm pretty positive will be moved from the Brewers this season. And I think the Orioles would be very interested in adding a pitcher and then also adding a power righty bat. But that's all I have for you guys today.